So the first thing we're talking about today is equipment. And basically, with these guys, she's got some sensitivity issues. She doesn't like being handled around the head and neck. And nothing I'm doing is hurting her, but she has a tendency to flare up. When we go to put the collar on, it needs to be snug enough so that the contacts are making contact with skin. Good girl, see that? She has a tendency to seize up. Anytime you put any kind of equipment on her, it's not just the e-collar. These guys only are aware of the e-collars for very specific things. Both of them are barkers, and their owners work shift work at a hospital, so we want to make sure they can control them. Good girl. Now, as petulant as she is, she loves food. Good girl, huh? So it's pretty easy to motivate her. Good pup. Easy. Unlike the male who likes to snap at fingers, not in a malicious way, but when he gets a treat, he likes to include everything up to the elbow, sometimes the shoulder. Good girl. So when we put the e-collar on, we want it snug enough to where we can insert one finger underneath the throat latch, right? The receiver itself is sitting underneath the right ear. Good pop. And it should be tight enough to where the dog cannot relocate the collar by shaking its head or scratching at it. Good girl. Okay. Woohoo! So I had the collar set at 0, and there's food down there. And I'm just tapping at the lowest levels to see at what point in time she acknowledges the pressure from the e-collar. And what I'm looking for basically is for her to just kind of go, what was that? I don't want her jumping out of her skin. I don't want her acting like she's on fire. Good girl. And I think that's there it was. Now, we've done some prior work with this dog. She has some obedience. Her owners told me that when she was a much younger dog, she had gotten hit by a car, and as a result, she's got some pretty serious issues with automobiles, obviously, and she's got some touch sensitivity. She startles relatively quickly over the slightest thing, so, you know, I mean, her owners love her dearly. It's not like she's been beaten, but she has a tendency to react spontaneously to a variety of silly things that your average pet is not going to react to. So once we've paired the e-collar, which is now on a 10 of over 120 settings, every time I tap, she comes to me and I'm going to reward her. Again, don't do that at home, it's gross. Layla, here. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Easy. Thank you. I like my fingers. Now she has to see right there as a prime example. You put any leash pressure on her at all, she spontaneously reacts, sometimes, you know, violently. She starts flinging herself around. Here. Good girl. Here. Here. Sit. Good girl. And this is a dog that you really need to move slow with because she has a tendency to just react over the slightest thing. Good girl. Easy. Very nice. Okay. If you notice, her and her low rider counterpart, they both hover when they sit. I think she hovers because it's physically uncomfortable for her to sit, but he hovers because he's expectant of something and he wants to be able to move quickly. Out. Good girl. Good girl. Here. No. Here. Sit. Here. And again, this is part and parcel of her problem. We have noise coming in from the overhead door, so she's reluctant to respond. So we apply a bunch of direct pressure with the leash and some indirect pressure with the collar. Because here is the act of facing the handler and looking at the handler. Something that she struggles with because she's so terrified that something's going to happen to her. Good girl. We only reward success. Isn't that right? Easy. Okay. And then I'm going to release. Good pup. A lot of this work we like doing on the table, just by virtue of the fact that enough successes can Here. Sit. Yes. Enough successes hopefully will override any fears that she might have. Dogs like this, good girl. Okay. Have a problem with stay command as well. Here. And this is how we actually build confidence. Here. Kennel. Here. Sit. This is how she was taught the exercise. Good girl. Stay. The here command is always introduced on the table, as is the stay, just because it helps the dog understand the concept. It's a raised surface. It's not something that they're used to seeing. The natural boundary is going to keep them pretty much in place. So it's an easy victory. Good girl. Very nice. Now you notice I use neither e-collar pressure nor collar pressure on this dog for the stays. I'm basically just using the place that she's in. That was a struggle. Here. Oh, sorry. And again, that wasn't an act of violence. It was just me relocating the collar. She's real flinchy, this dog. Nope. Sit. You hear the truck in the background, the Jake brakes. She's losing her mind over that. Stay. Good dog. Very nice. Very nice. You see the ears are plastered against her head. As you can see, I'm not using the collar. The noise is the trigger for this angst. Her eyes look like they're about to pop out of her skull. We're forcing her to maintain the stay position. Lots of lip licking. Lots of puckering. Lots of yawning. Good girl. This is all, she's creating this for herself because of the presence of what she considers something to be fearful. And again, I'm not going to beat up on her, but she owes me the balance of the exercise. Good, good. Good, good. You can hear the truck in the background. Good, good. Very good. And then when I return to her, you can see, I'm waiting until she relaxes somewhat. The ears are coming forward, the eyes and the lips are softening. She's not frantic like she was just a second ago. And before she bolts up, too late. Good. Now, I'm rewarding, basically, although I was correcting at the same time, I rewarded her for her willingness to not fight me, as opposed to the last time when she just jumped off the handle. Good, good. Very nice. Okay, good girl. And then I'm going to release. Because this dog has some serious fear issues. She stresses herself out for a variety of reasons. Here, Lassie. Good girl, Miss Layla. Oh, kettle up. Good. But she keeps her humor. She tries. Sit. Yes, very nice. Good girl. Heel. Sit. Good girl. Now, I haven't worked it down with her. Dogs that are afraid have a tendency to resist the down quite a bit. Good girl. Look at you. Unlike her brother, her housemate, she went down relatively quickly, whereas he struggled with it. He was not willing to go down for love or money or food. Good. So I think some work was done with her in the past with luring. But basically, the rule is, good dog, that the prize only happens when the behavior, now, good lass, after the behavior is completed. Now I'm holding her in the position because I want her to feel a little stress. I want her to realize she's not dying. Good girl. Okay. And then release her when she relaxes. So when I have my hands on her, what I'm waiting for is that moment in time where her body kind of goes, oh, instead of rewarding that state of arousal. When she gets aroused and starts becoming a little truculent, we work her through that. We don't reward her by saying, oh, you must not like this, we're going to quit. Good dog. One more time, sweet pea. You ready? Down. Don't lick my fingers, you little nuthead. And again, I'm applying direct pressure to the collar. Okay. And then I'm going to pay her off. Good girl. Okay. All right, we're done.